When it comes to bringing out the best in others at work, are you having the right conversations? Let's see what the science suggests. Hi there, Michelle here from McQuaid TV. We're helping you find ways to move from functioning to flourishing by putting the latest science to the real-world test. Recently I worked with the VIA Institute, one of the world's leading thinkers on developing our strengths, to randomly sample more than 1,000 American adults across all ages, location, education levels and occupations, and found that when it comes to bringing out the best in their employees, most managers are having the wrong conversations. You see, the data suggests that with or without their managers, employees are quietly leading a strengths revolution in many of our workplaces. For example, while only 2 out of every 10 people said they had the opportunity to do what they did best each day at work in 2001, this number has increased by 30% to 5 out of every 10 people today. And compared to estimates a decade ago that reported only 1/3 of employees could name their strengths, now 56% of employees say they can name their top 5 strengths. And while in 2006, 63% of us believed we'd grown most in the areas of our weaknesses, today 64% of employees believe that building on their strengths will make them more successful at work. But here's the best part. As a result of doing what they do best each day at work, 78% of employees report feeling engaged and energized in their jobs because they believe that they're making a difference and that their work is appreciated. And 70% of these employees describe themselves as flourishing at work over the last 6 months. Now, given many managers have been left scratching their heads when it comes to finding ways to improve engagement, provide a sense of purpose, and boost well-being for their employees, what can managers do to support this strengths revolution and get the outcomes they've been trying so hard to achieve? Well, drum roll please. The research suggests that most managers need to start having a different conversation with their employees. You see, despite the growing appetite of employees to do more of what they do best each day, the data suggests 68% of managers continue to fail at having meaningful discussions with employees about their strengths. Instead, most managers are simply patting people on the back saying they're doing okay. Others are either saying nothing or pointing out their faults without guidance on improvements. Now, this is despite findings from numerous sources like the Corporate Leadership Council, who found that when managers focus on the weaknesses of an employee, on average, their performance declines by up to 27%. Whereas when they focus on the strengths of an employee, on average, performance improves by up to 36%. Now, to be fair, it's not entirely the fault of managers that they're having the wrong conversations. The truth is, our brains are naturally wired to look for the worst in people and not the best. And it seems that we spend about 80% of our time focused on finding weaknesses at work and only about 20% of our time looking for the strengths. Plus, most managers haven't been trained to have a strength conversation with their team. So what can managers do to reverse this ratio and spend a little more time talking confidently to employees about ways to develop their strengths? Firstly, you want to start looking for the strengths in your people. Watch for where they're engaged and energized and enjoying what they're doing, even if it's just for a moment. See if you can spot their curiosity, their creativity, their humor, their honesty, or their perseverance in action. And if you're not sure, then ask your people to complete the free 10-minute strength survey at viacharacter.org and then have a discussion about the results. Secondly, you can try to give people opportunities to develop their strengths each day as they go about their job. Now, it's important here to help your team understand that their strengths aren't blunt instruments to be applied in every situation. Instead, try to offer guidance on where they're underplaying, overplaying, and getting their strengths just right. You see, being strengths focused doesn't mean that you have to ignore poor performance. What it does mean is that instead of just trying to get someone to rewire their brain by tackling a perceived weakness head on, is that you've got other tools to look at, like ways they might dial up or dial down an existing strength to make improving their performance a little easier, more effective and enjoyable. Then finally, try to offer strength-based feedback. You see, we all share a deep psychological need to be respected, to be valued and to be appreciated. So instead of just saying thanks and leaving someone wondering what they did right, try to tell them which strengths you saw them using and why you valued what they did. And that way you'll leave them feeling confident to replicate the behaviour again. So for example, thanks for using your strength of curiosity in that meeting. The questions you asked helped us have a more robust conversation. It's also important as a leader that you're aware although strength-based approaches have many potential benefits, people can occasionally feel disappointed, disengaged or otherwise distressed as a result of trying to use their strengths and then experiencing failure. So be mindful of people's psychological vulnerability to failure. Try to help reframe failure when it happens, even if they're using their strengths, as a learning opportunity, so it doesn't feel like such a threat to who they are and who they look like at their best. Want to try a little strength-based feedback right now? Then share this video with your family and friends, especially those who might benefit from a conversation about what they look like at their best. And if you'd like more practical and playful ideas from the latest science on human flourishing, then be sure to subscribe or stop by michellmcquaid.com, leave your name and email address so you can hear all our news first. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching Shell McQuaid TV. Remember, you are good enough, so don't be afraid to let your strength shine. Until next time, take care. And try and get him to face this way. Come this way. Hey, you ready? Here, it's your big moment. You're on TV. Now, mister, what strengths have you got? Have you got any love? Is there any love? Some kindness? Yeah, some love. You got love today? How about some kindness? Have you got any kindness? Any kindness? A little bit of kindness? How about some perseverance? Have you got any perseverance? Oh, that's very good. You should use your perseverance when you go. Don't use it for that. That's not good on camera.